Welcome back, everybody, to our podcast number 2. And this is Cody Zhang Podcast. And I'm Cody Zhang, your host. And today's podcast, I'd like to talk to you about a really interesting concept called you are only 10% left from your goal. And I learned this concept from a meeting today with a friend of mine that I haven't met for a while. So I'd like to share this quick story with you. And I do believe that this is such a powerful concept because it's really opened my horizons and changed all of my perspective about how much I should be doing to gain success and accomplishments. So, this podcast will be pretty short, and I think it will be sweet. And I really hope that this can bring the point home toward the end of the podcast. So, please do listen to the end. So, let's say I have this friend, and his name is Henry. Okay, just call him Henry. He was a CPA, an accountant, and he was my accountant back in the day when I started my business. And I know him for over 7-8 years at this point. And he is a really tall and considered handsome person and very, very wise. I'll say one of the wisest person that I've ever met. And he's just have this such an insightful answer. Whatever you ask him, when I ask him question about all the challenges in my early days of my practice, and he can always point me to a direction where I would not thought of and I have never imagined, and better than I thought. So he was the guy that I always seek some sort of advice from. It's a little bit more like maybe like a mentor. I kind of treat him like a mentor. So we have this kind of tradition. We meet each other 1 or twice a year, once every 6 to 7 months. And he retired. He retired 5 years ago now. And he's quite young. I don't know how well, I'm not gonna review his age, but he's quite young, late 50s, and he retired at mid 50s. So financially, I believe he's fairly well off and not worry about the finance and live a pretty good life. And also he plays guitar, and we talk about guitars and music quite some times. And we both have some similar interests in playing rock and roll music. So when we get together, our conversation will be fairly expansive and spiritual, and quite honestly, it was quite transformational. And one thing that stood up today was, as we were just catching up, we met at a brunch place called OEB somewhere in Vancouver, and we sat down and we started to talk about our updates in our life, and something like New Year's, Christmas, what happened, what do we do, things like that. And as we gone deeper into the conversations, and we always end up talking about life. And that's a common topic. We always end up talking about nuance in life and challenges and mindsets, which I really love talking about. And we were talking about something along the line with achievement. And I am a person that always like to achieve greater goals, believe it or not. And I am actually quite ambitious. And I I had this curiosity that I asked him. I remember a conversation goes like this, and it was something related to the business, and he giving me some feedback and some summaries about my questions, and then all of a sudden it led to a realms of something that I'm currently encountering and I'm not able to figure out, which have to do with expansion in business. And he said something quite interesting there, and asked me, and he said that, so how long it took you to set up a business? And I said, well, I mean, it kind of uh, all of a sudden I couldn't really answer his question because it was so out of the blue, as we were talking about something quite deep in there. But I follow along with it, and I said that it take about maybe 6 months, and for planning, having concepts, and finding the people. In my case, would be my practice and patients, and where is the location, stuff like that. And then he said that, did you know that there's the principle of 10%? And I said, no. What do you mean by 10%? He followed by saying, he said, 50% of the battle it's already achieved by the time that you set up your business. As soon as you get your first task done, and you're 70-80% there. And to get to your dream or ideal outcome, you're really just 10% away. So that being said, whatever struggle you have now, or you believe that's a struggle, you're really not far away from it. So my first reaction was, wow, that's powerful. And it kind of opened up some doors in my mind. I feel like I just feel like I really don't know where to begin. I just want to say that there are many times in my life, and I got really excited. It got really excited at starting a new project, and I got it done. I got it launched, but I didn't follow through, and it happened many times. And I've launched many different programs in my practice, and not many of them got launched properly. And I'm always excited to try something new. So I really enjoy the chase. But when I really almost get there, for some reason I give up or not continue in it. And he followed by saying, he said that, yeah, you're really 10% away from succeeding it. And it really just takes consistency. And I got like million thoughts on my mind at that time when he said that. And that does explain why I feel like there's never enough. I'm running out of things to do sometimes. That's why I don't know what else I could try or do to create a new project that I'm truly excited about, because I have so many unfinished projects that I started it and never completed. And I like to really take that story and wanted to put it in a more constructive way so that you can see and hopefully can learn a thing or two from it. Is that we all have some doubts and disbelief in ourselves at some point. when we start something, a career, it can be a relationship, it can be, um, I don't know, hobbies, or you want to travel, or you like to try something new. Well, because this podcast is about being stuck and how you can get yourself unstuck. And part of getting unstuck is to accomplish something that you truly want. So I think a lot of people that I talk to isn't not isn't not knowing where to go. Is that they have tried to get what they want, but then they cannot get it, and they don't know how to get it, and that they stay in that state for a prolonged period of time until their identities start to catch up and adapt to it, and they believe that they're an unsuccessful person. I've been there. I've been there many times, and I would say from the conversation, it all of a sudden it kind of served as a reminder of many projects or many relationships or friendship that I could have followed through just by being consistent. Let's take for example. Remember back in 2 years ago. Sorry, yeah, maybe 3 years ago now, at the beginning of COVID. I did. I was one of those people who saw the opportunity. The inner entrepreneurship kicked in. I saw that there's a surge of mask demand. So I got a connection somewhere in China and ordered a bunch of masks that I wanted to resell them and make some profit out of it. I don't recommend people do that, but you know how it is at some point, and you just want to try things out. So I did it. I ordered, I believe that was maybe 50 boxes of masks from China. Really, really cheap. It was about maybe $3 at a time before it became so popular. And I can sell it easily at $12, $15 per box before it peaked. So for some reason, I got the 50 boxes and I didn't do it. For some reason, I just didn't sell it. I sold a couple boxes to a couple of people on Facebook, and that was it. All of a sudden, I just lost the momentum. I don't know why, and there was no reason. And well, gladly, I can reuse some of the masks for my business. But my point here is there's infinite amount of things that you can do and you can pursue in your life. And we spend so much time, we as human, we spend so much time pursuing something great and want to feel we have done something meaningful and have some sort of legacy, or it makes such a huge impact to others. And I get it. If it's not significant enough, then what's the point of doing it? And I think having that thought, having that belief is good. That makes you to become a great thinker, makes you to make you think big. However, also adopting the 10% mindset would be extremely powerful. Yeah, because the matter of fact is most of the successes are not coming from how unique it is or how special it is. It's really coming from whether you have accomplished the task consistently. And yeah, so after that, I just I listed a bunch of missions, projects that I listed out, but I didn't get to finish. And over a couple hours in the afternoon, I get to complete it, a couple of them, and I feel really good about it. I feel more accomplished, and also mentally, I feel lighter. I feel like it's it's really serving me as a human being. I'm really grateful that the 10% mindset is a way to remind me of to keep the consistency. So if you're not consistent, think about the 10% mindset, because you can always spend your energy elsewhere, and you know deeply you don't lack the energy, but rather the attention. So for the limited amount of attention, if you focus on completing a task or a project, likely you're going to be successful and you're going to feel great about yourself. So that's it for today. It's rather short, and I hope this can help you to implement and help you take some actions in your life. And I'll see you next time, and take care. Bye bye.